is that a herb?
Yes, I purchased the top of the company. I can't believe she's got all her projects up.
Yeah, she isn't as good as how people thought.
Reputation is so easy to destroy. It just takes one mistake and then reputation that you have accumulated for years is gone. What happened to this girl can also happen to any corporate. From a person who all admire, become a person who all criticize. Most companies think it is not so important to manage reputational risk, but it is actually crucial. According to Oliver Wyman, 22.6% of sudden stock price drops are related to reputation, image, pricing, and presence in the market. So let's take a look at what it is. Reputational risk is a threat or danger to the good name of a business or entity. It can occur through a number of ways, such as directly as a result of the action of the company itself, or indirectly due to the actions of the employees, or tangentially through other peripheral parties, such as joint venture partners or suppliers, or even players in the same industry. All are driven by the belief that the future ability of the company to deliver on stated goal and performance targets will be worse than previously expected. The biggest problem with reputational risk is that it can literally erupt out of nowhere. It is a hidden danger that can pose a threat to the survival of the biggest and best run companies. Moreover, it can wipe out millions or billions of dollars in market capitalization or potential revenues, and can even result in a change at the utmost level of management. While most people think that reputational risk is not quantifiable, it actually can. Indeed, it is quite understandable. Even a personal trainer can understand it.
Well, to quantify the reputational risks, it just have to start with listing all the reputational risks events that could occur. Then we will have to formalize those events to the risk heat map in order to visualize the potential impact of each risk event. The risk heat map consists of x-axis and y-axis as usual graph. For the x-axis, it represents the level of perceived risk occurring, which based on the respondent that rate a company on customized reputational attributes by the stakeholder and the media. In other words, it is the likelihood of reputation risk events from stakeholder opinions and from a media tagging too. Here's come to the y-axis. It's designed to express the impact of the risk by y equal to beta 1 multiplied by beta 2. Whereas beta 1 is the linear regression standardized beta that represents the importance by which each attribute is regressed on reputation. Beta 2 is logistic regression categorized exponential data that indicates the impact on stakeholder behavior. Afterward, we have to identify the organization risk tolerance line, which is a subjective tolerance criterion that reflects the risk appetite of a particular company's board in order to implement the interpretation. Now, we will move on to the most useful part, the interpretation. For example, although risk number 15 would have a substantial impact on the business, it is unlikely to occur. For example, the database of the main server. On the other hand, risk number 20 is particularly important because the risk itself positioned above the organization risk tolerance line. Thus, the reputation risk with important stakeholders may be more severe. If the company is our body, then in this part you should know which organ in the body that you should pay more attention on. But that's not enough. We also should know that how much it can impact us in the numerical term. So keep up the good work, girls. Let's move on to the dumbbell.
Help me first.
3, 2, and one last one. Yes.
So in order to identify how much value each reputation risk will contribute to your company, first question you have to ask is that what is the total value of reputation risk to your company? Here comes to the equation, but don't worry, it needs only 3 components and you just multiply them to get the answer. First is intangible value, but what is it? Intangible value is the difference between the market capitalization and the book value. Market capitalization, as you know, is the stock price multiplied by outstanding shares, whereas book value is the company's total assets minus its total liabilities. So basically, it is the additional value that the market gives to the company apart from the actual value of the company itself. Now comes to the second component, reputation capital. Reputation capital is the total sum of a company's relationships with its stakeholders. For example, customers, partners, employees, investors, including media. Reputation capital is a percentage of intangible value, which varies from industry to industry. In other words, it means that from the total intangible value of the company, how much is contributed by its reputation. Once you multiply intangible value with reputation capital, you will get reputation capital value. Last component is model fit, which is the adjusted R-square from the linear regression model fit, whereby a set of reputation risk is regressed on a reputation variable to show how well the data fits the predictive model. The reason of multiplying this term is to cover inaccuracy of the data into your result. I know it is a bit too descriptive, so let's see the example. Can you hold this for me? Yeah. Company A has 3 stakeholders, customers, suppliers, and employees, with an intangible value of $5 billion, a reputation capital of 25%, and a model fit of 60%. Now let's plug in these numbers into the equation. You will have 5 billion, 25%, and 60% multiplied together. As a result, the total value of reputation risk among all 3 stakeholders will be $750 million. Next, we are going to find the reputation value of each reputation risk. I will use previous example of company A. Let's assume that company A has 20 reputation risk with a total reputation risk value of $750 million. To estimate the value of a specific risk, for example, perception of poor customer service, the total reputation risk value will be distributed across each reputation risk by multiplying the total reputation risk value with the regression standard beta coefficient of particular reputation risk, or beta 1, that my trainer talked about earlier. From the table here, for the first reputation risk, it has standard beta coefficient of 0.18. Once you multiply 0.18 with $750 million, you will get $135 million as the portion of reputation value contributed by the first reputation risk. Now you know which reputation risk you should keep your eyes on. But why identifying the reputation value of each reputation risk is so important? Let's imagine that once the company cannot identify how much impact each reputation risk can have to the company in order to manage it. It is similar to when you do not know the maximum weight of a dumbbell you can lift and you will hurt yourself at the end.
Oh gosh, someone call the doctor, please.
My arms,
So there's a 6 way to manage a reputational risk. First, to make the reputational risk as part of your strategic plan, it is important to understand how much reputation can impact on your success. So be careful about your weakness and check whether it's relevant to your reputations or not. So in case she is an athlete, so she needs to stick on her schedule plans and keep practicing to stay on top of this game, or else her ranking will be down. 2. Control process. Standardization reduces the likelihood and severities of events that could damage the reputations. In case of trainer, if she doesn't have the standardized training program, it could lead to the ineffective result, or it could be even worse that her clients got injured. So as you can see, it can ruin the reputations of the fitness and of the trainer itself. 3. Understand all the action that can affect the public perception. The top management must recognize how important the reputation management is. So they have to make sure that every stakeholder understands this. So in the fitness training case, so they should train every trainers and employee to have them well-mannered, friendly, and support every client equally, or else you don't want to have to go viral on Quantify.com or Twitter. 4. Understand the customer expectation. Don't try to set the expectation too high. For example, trainer say to the customer that she will lose 10 kilograms of her weight within 2 days. Imagine how worse this could be if your firm is known as an organization that cannot live up to your word. 5. Focus on the positive image and communications. In all situations, it's key to constantly send out positive communications. Over time, this will build up your reputations in the public mind and lower the impact of the future damage. For example, your fitness is well known that all of the trainer has to pass the test to get the certificates, so this will help to gain the trust in the customer mind. 6. Create a response and contingency plan. If the worst situation happens, you must respond quickly and appropriately. Every minute that goes by can reduce the respect that the public has to your organizations. In this case, it is correct that someone in the gym call for the doctors, but it could be better if they have some basic knowledge on the first aid. So let's take a look further into the example situations that happen in real life. Oh, I have to go!
Sorry, we have to move you back to your business class seats.
What? Why do we have to move?
We have been upgraded.
We are so sorry for the inconvenience, but you have to go back to your seat. Otherwise, the on-duty pilot will not take off the planes.
On TG971 from Zurich, Switzerland to Bangkok, Thailand, 2 deadhead pilots demanded 2 first-class seats from passengers, claiming the rights and air transportation regulations, stating that deadhead pilots must be well-rested in a horizontal position. In this case, only the first-class seats can be horizontally adjusted. The on-duty pilot supported this by refusing to take off the flight if the deadhead pilots could not take the seats. In the end, after a 2-hour delay, 2 upgraded first-class passengers had to give up their seats for the pilots. This news was out in late October and was widely scrutinized by the public. COE, or the DD of Thai Airways, has come off and apologized for the incident and promised customers that the company would look into the issue and prevent for it not to happen again, despite the pilots and colleagues refusing to take the blame. There has been compensation for over 300 passengers in the flight for the delay, tailored to each passenger's need, mostly in forms of extra mile collection, compensated flights, and upgrades. Thai Airways has announced penalties on both the pilots and ground staff for lack of good management and lack of concerns around the best interest of the company. However, the method of penalties remains undisclosed. The quantitative result of this is the social blaming from the society. For the quantitative results, share price has dropped for 6 days straight in the trading week after the news leak. Other risks involved in this are clearly operational risks or risk of people making mistakes. In this case, it is the mismanagement of the ground staff and the on-duty pilots, whether intentionally or unintentionally. The key takeaways from this case is that, first, do admit to your failure and find appropriate, serious solutions to the issue in the scandal and not just saying apologizing. And 2, don't just ignore the employee side of the stories and find ways to remain the interest of both the companies and all of the stakeholders.
What's happening? Why my Facebook is locked out?
That's because over 50 million users' information will leak through the use of personality application called This Is Your Digital Life, which not only collected data of users but also the profile of these user Facebook friends, resulting in over 50 million people affected. The information was used by a company called Cambridge Analytica to support Donald Trump's election in the year 2016 by using the data to personalize his election campaign, tailored to everyone's personality. Facebook kinda accepted the scandal, although it claimed that Facebook did not provide any information to Cambridge Analytica directly, and it had once tracked unusual data keeping back in 2015. However, it failed to warn the users back then. All the company has done apart from apologizing is locking all of the users out of the system and fix the system. For the qualitative result of this, there has been a huge boycott through the hashtag #DeleteFacebook phenomenon, which was followed by many celebrities. For the quantitative results, share price of Facebook were down by 18% in over a week by the fear of investors that users would follow through. This, although did not result in such a dramatic loss of users, took 7 weeks to recover the just 1 week damage. In July, after the incident, Facebook for the first time reported lower than expected earnings for Q2 results, and it saw its lowest quarterly growth ever since 2011. After the earnings report, the share price fell by 8% in the day. There are 2 other risks involved in this incident. First, there are technological risks. In this case, the system which leads to third parties being able to retrieve the user's data. And second, the operational risk, by not able to warn the users in 2015 about the data tracking. The key takeaways from this incident is, first, do not just apologize for your operational mistakes and find better ways to regain users' trust. And second, do provide users with more satisfying compensations than just locking them out of their accounts.
Again? I'm gonna late for work.
This third case is the case of a Bangkok Mass Transit System, better known as BTS. During late June to mid-July this year, the BTS train kept on delaying during the rush hours. The company claimed there was some external signal interference, making it impossible to operate the train safely. This problem lasts over 3 weeks. Though the management did come out and apologize to the customer, they didn't give the exact reasons of the problems. The management of the BTS claimed the cause was the signal interference from the taxi. However, DTAC denied the claim and shut down its 2.3 GHz signal along the BTS line. Surprisingly, the problem still persisted, so DTAC wasn't really the cause of the problems. Later on, the National Broadcasting and Telecommunication Commission came out and announced that initially BTS was using the signal 2.37 GHz. However, DTAC, which is the true owners, started to use that signals. BTS then switched to use the signal 2.4 GHz. However, this signal was really clouded because this is the signal that Wi-Fi used, and that's the true cause of the problems according to the NBTC. In order to correct the mistake, BTS gave away free ride to customers and installed a new signal interference protection along the BTS line to prevent external signal from interfering with its own. For qualitative results, there is a social rant on Twitter for over 2 weeks straight. However, there is no actual punishment because BTS was still operating within the standards set by the government. For quantity results, share price was relatively stable, so was the earning. This is because the monopoly natures of the company, it had the power over the customers. Other risks involved is technological risks surrounding the signal system and operational risks surrounding the operation of the company. For the key takeaway, BTS should do more than a minimum requirement of compensation, be compassionate to customers, and compensate accordingly to the situation. And second, do not blame your mistake on other entity because the truth will eventually come out. In this case, the company was lucky because it is a monopoly in the industry.
everyone, today I have a new product for Magic Skin to review. So here is the product and it's very safe and help your skin to glow within 2 days.
Stop! That product is not actually safe. It is not approved by the Food and Drug Administration.
Really?
Yes, let me explain why. This case is totally different than other cases we have discussed before. In other cases, the source of reputational risk is in-house. However, in this case, the source is from external parties. This is a case of beauty communities. So there is this company called Magic Skins that was hiring tons of Thai celebrities and net idols to endorse its brands. However, it turned out that products under many sub-brands were not approved by the Food and Drug Administration. Many big-name celebrities had to report to the police, making this one of the biggest news in the year 2018. After the incident, local customers become really concerned with what cosmetic and supplement they buy. This really hurt growing cosmetic brands. And for Chinese government, which is beauty's second largest market after Thailand, heard of the news regarding Magic Skin scandals and was really worried about the quality of Thai product, hence strengthening the import standards. As a result, earnings in both domestic and international market dropped, share price fall and never recover. Noted that there are many negative developments that wasn't caused by Magic Skin scandal as well. For other risks, political risk is involved as China changed its regulation. For key takeaway from this case, first, sometimes scandal of one company can put an end to the entire industry. Second, some of the reputational risk is in-house, which should be controlled by the company. However, reputational risk can be from external party as well. Companies should be prepared for such events.